Hello, good rising. Happy Moon Day, Monday, Monai, the 14th of October. This is number 3, I believe, if I've got my numbering system right. The Artful Dodgers Remedy Club, number 3. Let me share this in the places, see who is around and available. Good rising to you, good day, happy Moon Day. I'm going to spend an hour with you, taking your questions and comments. You bring me the news, please, and let me know how you are. Then I shall be reading some emails. Checking on activity.com emails. I'm just going to post this link, let everybody know we're having an hour, maybe later this evening. We'll have another hour for those that are unavailable now. Can come and catch us. So we'll do this all this week, Monday to Friday. I'll give you updates and we'll have a chat. So hello, good day. Bear with me while I do the links. If you can share me, put me on your places where your loved ones will see. Let's invite the fam. Let's get together. All continents, all that are available that want to have a chat. That's what we'll do today for the next hour. Let's just put that there. How are we? Say hello, good day, good rising. The thumbnail is the thumbnail that I found on the Majestic 12, above Majestic, should I say. I'll call it a disclosure, documentary, programming of sorts. So there you go. That's one. I'm going to be reading emails after this. Pardon me. I will read my emails and catch up with everybody. Let me just get into the .com. 5, hello to the physical 5, what? Just putting a link into my forum, so I'll be here until just before 12. I'll take some questions. I'll take your updates. News, any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to say, let me know. Have we got any chat? Albert, good morning, my man. How are we doing? What are you saying, Al? Have you seen any of the videos, any of my updates, any of the posts? Have you got any questions or comments, updates in general? I'm just in the .com now saying, here's the link. I've had a good weekend. I've had a nice break, a rest. Looked after the ladies, my queen and the princess. She's gone back to the place of shall not be named, aka a school, the academy. There we go. I have done my bit. Albert, Ricky. Let's show that. Sent you a PM on com. Alright then, no problem. I'm just saying good day and good rising now to the .com. I'll check that. I'll pick that up later. Much love and thank you, Al. Much love. And what I will say is, I see that I've taken this from somebody else at some point somewhere. I can't think who said this. Someone's on a documentary and he says, we're not asking the right questions. He says, and the reason we're not asking the right questions is because we already believe we've got the answers, you know, to certain things. So I thought that's a very good point, that. We believe we have the answers. And he says cars. He says, look at technology and look at the combustion engine. He says, we're still using the same technology. A lot of people have made this reference, though. to you know, the same technology 100 years ago that it's what, Ford 19 something, yeah, 18, sorry, something, over 100 years of this technology of combustion and fuel. Why do we do that? Because it's a staple income for the petrodollar, the petrodollar. So yeah, we're not getting the relevant, let me think, the relevant areas, you know, remedied in life, because we don't know who we are, we don't know what we speak, we don't know who governs us, we don't know how they govern us, we're not told about money, workings of it, debt, credit, currency, all of this. These promises that we have passing around currently are just promises. So once we found this out, we had quite a, you know, an alarm bell moment. So if you're not going to have any relevant questions to ask me, share this with your loved ones and your family, and give them new, you know, we call you self-initiates, because we don't tell you what to do. You choose whether or not to get onto the same wavelength, vibration, page as what we are. So I'd like to welcome the new ones and bring them into this realm, using you know, the ideas and the methodology of which we have, and we know that there are only promises, and since 1931 we can prove that there's been a new financial setup. And when you get rid of things like gold and silver, which are a national you know, asset, they was what they were the precious metals that backed the private bankers. Bank of England printed private notes. So you know, once the backing had gone, that was what we call intrinsic value, everyone. So to the new famine scribes, not to my existing ones, they know this, you know, from many years ago. The bankers that lend the money to the government, yes, the private consortium of the, we call them elite previously, they says, you know, how are you going to pay us back now? Because we print the money. And when we print the money, you borrow it. When we want the money back, you pay it back. You can't pay it back till we print some more. That's how this game works. It's rigged. You borrowed £10 billion, we want £20 billion back, but there's only £15 billion in circulation. You can't pay that back, fam. That's how it works. Perpetual debt from this private consortium of bankers. So once you realise that we're all in debt and the gold and silver have gone, then he says, we'll print more money, but we want more assurances from you for the satisfaction of this debt. And how are you going to do that, monarchies? So the certificate of birth was invented, okay, and you know, initialised, incorporated, central clearing banks, things like this. And this paper-based legal system is what pays for the national debt. Everybody signed up to a national insurance number to agree to pay the national debt at the legal age of being able to go into what we call voluntary servitude, where you willingly go freely and give your body to a corporation and say, I will be a slave, and answer to the national insurance number and pay towards the national debt. You go to a job, a corporation, and you clock in every day and you reporting in for the sea people's consortium, the monopolisation. So what we've done is worked out that there's been a few fibs told, and we've had a look, and we've got some stuff to show you. And if you're worried about debt and you're considering you know, certain things of which I have and others have in this family, which the negative energy which enthralls you, it takes over your every waking minute, it stops you eating properly, it stops you sleeping properly, it might turn you into a raging alcoholic, somebody with anxiety, it might change you completely, because you are under the pressure of this you know, we call it the shadow contracts, all right, the shadow fear and misery versus basic universal income. We've done a publication, and you know, that's why I'm here today. So if you don't know whom you are and what your rights are and what these promises are all about, and you're going in there as if it's all real, then we're here to tell you it isn't real, and it hasn't been real for some time. And there is no need for contemplating suicide or family breakdowns, or you know, what happens with the pressures here. The pressure cooker is on. So you have an obligation and a duty as trustees in the government. The government are in fact entrusted to run things. If they are the trustees, then in a trust triangle relationship there are primarily three positions, and trustee is the legal ones that are responsible to answer for, generally, and they have a certain title. And then you have things like settlors, grantors, testators that are at the top, that have the rights of everything, the king position. And then we have beneficiaries. the ones like you know, the exclusively are protected, and you know, the trustee answers to them, and they're protected by this magnificent trust, and their first name apparently is the key, the entitlement to the, you know, becoming the heirs of the world realms, mineral and resources that was given to you and I, the believers, that is. Not you know, the Jews and the Gentiles were classed as sinners and non-believers, and I know you're not sinners, and I know you believe, and I know if you know the truth, then things would be different. So here we are. That's what we're doing. So to new initiates, we don't think we're better. We don't think we're clever. We haven't been to uni. We're not licensed. We're not sworn in. We haven't got an oath to anybody other than our family and the original covenants of which we honour through universal laws. And I say Greg Braden Divine Matrix. It isn't Greg's. It was Greg that taught me about this, and he's been around for a while, so I will always mention him, much like Tesla and Jack Fresco. To mention, you know, the three greats, Alan Watts, Napoleon Hill, Noam Chomsky, Eric, Dollard, Eric Dollard. These ones are my favourite of the men. We'd like the women to step up and take a part. Alphas and Omegas. It's all our jobs to do this. This pale, stale, male, negative environment, you know, it's had its day. It's time to add some colour, some different vibrations. If the ladies had been running this for a while, and the female energy, I don't think we'd be in this state, to be honest. You know, shout going out to the mothers, the females, the Omegas, the Alphas. We need a balance, left and right brain. So you've got me till just before 12. Open questions. There is no legal advice because I am not licensed nor permitted. I am an idiot in the eyes of the legal realm. All right. We're here to have an open chat, to publicise and to get a feel of what's happening in the community, and to talk primarily about the trust and equity, what I've brought out to you. Community trusts would be an idea to start, an area for support and strengthening. Albert, I've said, Fly, easy now. I'm available all day, Fly. Let me know when you want to have a chat. Eric, blessings, yes, I thank you for those lovely icons. A rainbow, a heart, and a sunshine. Eric, I noticed that underneath Fly's fist and heart. Yeah, no valuable. Yes, Albert agreed. Okay, we've got a dodgy named one there. We're underneath you, Albert. Blue Man Group, where are you? There isn't any. Nonna's a blue man. That's it. Let's go to add some now. Albert, you can back me up here. Fly, you can back me up here. I have to be careful because of the channel and its policy. I'll appoint Albert and Nonna and Fly to watch out. Let's go to this one with the funny name under Albert. Who holds all the debt? It's a slavery construct meant to keep us all docile and complacent. They own nearly all of the realm. They reckon they own nearly all of the realm. The Vampire Slayer, excellent screen name. I will be careful there, due to me having a demographic of families, and we need to be careful with the verbiage if there are any young ones in a family environment. But I noticed the Slayer's name. All right, so they proclaim, Romans have brought us this technology, as far as I can see, earliest ways going back, the trust technology, the proclamations of the papacies. I mentioned a documentary yesterday called The Sultan and the Saint. You will find that is Francis d'Assisi and the Assyrians and the Persians, having a timeline in history there, part of the continuum that I mentioned there. So they're reckoning through the proclamations on paper, papal, all right, which is the leaden buller who's done this at the time, such as the popes, the vicars of Christ that have come. They have proclaimed and said under the doctrine, the clean hands doctrine, Pontius Pilate washing his hands. I'm doing this on a reason for you. So the clean hands doctrine, the doctrine of notices, okay, and they notice if nobody objectifies to these notices in their realm, in their society, not ours, not man's, not nature, not God, not hermetic, not anything to do with magneto-electro, but in their secular, divisible, right brain realm. They say that they have proclaimed, and so if you have a claim and it is uncontested, then they will argue under their many gnoses, primarily Roman Catholicism, that they have claimed and that they own. So where you say they own and this, I will say, well, that is a misconception. The debt, you know, slavery construct, bang on, docile, they nearly own all the realm. Well, I say we own all the realm. I contest that here and now. That's what's up for contestant, land in itself. When you watch Above Majestic, they start with a submarine of German build in space with American cooperation built, you know, so, you know, when they say they own, yeah, the seas of space, even to American Nazi submarines going out into the seas of space, and the, you know, it's the proclamations are far and wide, fam. Whether they stand valid in our realm is where we're at. So, agreed, Eric, about debt and debt. You can't pay a debt with promises to pay because you're adding to the debt. To correctly manage it, you should be discharging it. So everybody that uses sweat equity and that pays, yes, with the pocket change and the pennies and the bank and the standing orders and the credit cards, you're transferring and paying via other ways using promises when you could be discharging, which is what would be clearing the debt. But instead, we're adding to it. So if you want to get technical about finances, really, we are making it much worse each and every time we pass a piece of paper or a coin with a picture of the Queen on. What we should be doing is affixing the equitable asset signature and a thumbprint autograph endorsing, transferring, discharge, boom, done, correct, debt lowered. But no, you see, so Eric, thank you for that, and that's what I would say. Back to the Slayer. Last two holdouts, they will dominate our entire species. It can be erased simply with 2 to 3 strikes. We are not militant, we don't fear them, we don't want to spread blood. There is another way, I believe, and this way, there are others, you know, waiting to help. There are two sides here. 2 tribes are going to go to war. The light tribe of the sun, the dark tribe of the moon, effectively. Not that the sun, the moon, and that's not specific to the sun and the moon, but there are 2 energies, essentially, and that's what, you know, in our realm, we've got the earth with the 2 above it. So 2 tribes are going to go to war, as always. Ever since the killing and the washing of the hands of the Pontius Pilate, everybody, I'd argue that that's been the end of the world days ever since then. If the prodigal son has been allegedly killed on a cross of fiction by the Romans ordering it to, you know, the Jews to carry out there, then that would be the killing of that figure. That if it was a real living entity, man, soul, spirit, tripart of the creator, then if you kill something like that and end that life and let that energy transfer back, you know, with regards to Easter, the Pentecostal and so forth and whatnot, and the rebirth, we'll keep that aside. You know, that's the end of days there. The end of, you've just ushered in the end of days 2019 years ago. That's the strike, so it's game on since then, you know. Do you honestly think that he's sat back? If that did happen and that was real, then do you think Dad's going to sit back for 2019 years, carefully play? I think, come on. Fiat currency, sustained, brother Albert. Vampire Slayer, I have mentioned about peacefully surrounding London and encircling it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. No occupy. Yes, the 3 obelisks, the horns, the teeth that have been plucked from, you know, my study of Daniel there. There's 3 obelisks. Where Washington, nation state, separate to America. City of London, nation state in London town, separate to Anglican terra firma. And then Italy, Vatican, obelisk, separate nation to Italy. So you got to be careful there as well, because they are nations on nations on nations. House is a universal language. It is understood and used by all. It is under the nations and nations and nations, and house music will unite and bring all under one roof, whether you're a Jew or a Gentile. And he mentions in that Jack tune from, when was that? Jack's Wiggly World. Shout going out to the 40-year-old old school house DJs and above. But you program me and I will bring it back and use it back on you, system. All right, so you may be black, you may be Jew, you may be Gentile. You are all under this roof, and we are all the creator, and I am the whatever he says, and this is my house and my house music. You are my family. This is it, you see. So you got to think. You got to think Israel, the same tribes. Yes, indeed, I like that. You're a new name, Vampire Slayer. Thank you for your input. I'm liking it. Fly, thank you for the thumb. The thumb, 15 watching now. If you like this concept and me giving you some time and whatnot, then I'd like a thumb up. If you ask me a question, I will give you some information. All right, there's no advice here, so don't get confused. There never will be. You go elsewhere for advice. Facebook, the high street. Alright, so moving on. Alright, Albert, nice one. You're welcome, Slayer. Slayer is on the ball. Balls. It's a big task at hand. Fly, you choose to. Why did you fly? You just chose to, didn't you? You had to. Somebody had to do it. Now we've done it now, though. How can we separate our sovereignty from the construct? Knowing yourself, all right? As Brother Santos says, as Romlius says, as Rohan has said, as Steve has said, as I have said, as Andy has said, as the great books have said, as the scholars of the time have said. Know yourself. All right, separating yourself from the construct. They have us bound by. They don't have us bound. It's a belief. I believe, Slayer, that your belief is an incorrect belief, and you need to go down a path. And once you've gone down that path, and the numbers and the vibration and the consciousness has got to you, and the mathematics, all right, then you can't argue why it. So the construct is the doctrine. The doctrine is the doctrine of notices, amongst others. I can't bring it to you any more articulately and concisely. Please watch the videos when you can of the last weekend, and then ask me more questions, and it should become apparent. The continuum is of blood. I did mention the Dracos, and I am now seeing the continuum on a 6,000 lineage scale there from, somewhat. Please, all of you, search the Hennessy advert, right? There was a Hennessy. I don't promote brands. There is a massive brand from America that's already massively successful. It did an advert in 2016. Please, all of my dedicated scribes at advanced, medium to advanced level, we're going to stop right now. Go and look at the Hennessy 2016 advertisement. This is for Slayer, all right? This is what they know. I know that they know, and they know that some of us know, but they won't ever release it. Go and have a look at that Hennessy 2016 advert that is on Tube now. This is about a famous scientist, explorer, using hydrogen. This is how I found him. And he went up to the stratosphere to have a look, like in a little balloon. And Hennessy have taken some of the footage here. And somebody asked me to look at a channel, and I found this in a video on a channel. Somebody said, go and look at head something promotions, head strong head something. Someone made a comment the other day, so I looked at that channel, and on their first video is an hour and something video, and this black and white excerpt is taken from, and I think there's some kind of religious Christian spiritual channel from what I gather, and he mentioned this video and the Hennessy of use, and I thought, all right, then I need to tell this to my fam. Pardon me for mentioning the word brand there, but yeah, go and have a look at that advert and give me comments. When you say the construct now, the construct's got many layers, dimensional layers, physical layers, spiritual layers, layers of, so don't worry, you're not bound by that. I'm taking time on this, Slayer, because that's what I'm here for. How do we sever our connection to the Vatican and London? By making a notice, a public notice under the doctrine of notices. I have made several hundred from this video channel in front of the Creator, the universal consciousness, and as you watching this, as you passively learning and interacting and getting duly informed and becoming better versions of yourself, I hope, I do try, I pray, then you have the strength and you have the knowledge and you have the backup, and you can stand here and say, I, man, you know whom you are, will serve my man. I am not a person. I will not be a person. I am not a name. I have a calling. I am sometimes known to go by a name. I'm commonly known as David. I am of the family, tribe, and estate, man, yes, identified son of Jeremita, of Rugby, David D. Rugby, of Rugby. This legal construct, that's how you step out of it, fam. That's how you box out of it. Can I have your identification? I don't have an ID entity, an id entity, an ID entity, because I have a mark, the mark of man. I have a phonetical assignment. You call me Crazy Horse. You call me Speedy Gonzales. You call me many names, yes. I have a face, one of them. I have a auto-phonetical sound and phonical. You could recognize me from my voice. If you was around someone's house and I was playing a video of me on this channel, you wasn't in the room, but you was adjacent to it, you'd know that was me. So that's my identity. Boom, there you go, there's another one. All right, your calling, your thumb mark. All right, look at print, look what a print is. So you can then say, someone will make a claim and call me Mr., all right, or call you Mr. and say that you are. Then you go, okay, I conditionally accept that, pal. I believe you, and you're mistaken. You think I'm that. Well, I need the proof, and that's how we get into it. Then our instruments will come into play, and the instruments will be irrefutable. Those irrefutable instruments witnessed here today. As God is my witness, witness number one is already in effect. All right, the Creator, the Lord Almighty on high as my witness. The Father, Son, the Holy Ghost are here as we speak, allegedly by this Christian nation. So there's 3 more witnesses. There are 16 viewers right now here, as it says on that. So there's another 16 witnesses. So you do the same and you proclaim, all right? They've come out in 1302 and they've said, we will take, all right? Now, if you go out there and you claim, then we need to contest it under the notices, and that's why we have public notices when we have equity, and they notice, and you have to notice, and you're given allotted time. And if there's no kickback and you do it for so long in so many places, then you then take that title position. So I can't break it down any more than that for you, my friends and family and tribes and scribes. So separating, it's not so much sovereignty. Let's go here. Self-initiate, all right, the Hermeticism, the 7 principles and the 8th, which would lock them all together if there would be an 8th, like the 12 zodiacs and the 13th there. Your sovereignty, you are either governed by yourself and your feelings and your emotion and your, we said it, awake. You are conscious and you have conscionable actions, aka awake. 2019, conscious, conscionable, clean hands, love, equity. I've told you over the last weekend what equity does and how amazing it is. All right, so that's that. The separation and the knowing and the power of man. Man is law. When you do this and you have the law, they see the man is there. Equity acts in personam. All right, corporations and fictions and signatures and legals can't go equity. Never been jelly bean. It's a secret way out for man. Trust is a technology that is our true currency, used correctly, used right, with the correct backup and support management. It is infallible. They've taken this from the natural order of life, of which I've tried to bring you slowly. So that is, in my humble opinion, not legal advice. Sovereignty is self-initiate. Self-initiate, Christianity. Christian name, David. When you go to court, what do you swear on? A Bible. Who's bonded you? The Catholicism. So, you've got a mixed bag here to work your way around. You present yourself as the Saviour, as the Saviour's disciple, or that Jesus Christ is your Saviour, Lord. You are the witness to, the Son of the Creator. And if you've got any God, it doesn't have to be Jesus. You can leave that out. When I've said that You can leave out Jesus. You can use the words God and Son of, because most of them are identical. You will have Muhammad, peace be upon him, the prophet from Allah, the God. And you have a set up system, so you can use prophets and messiahs and saviors instead of Jesus, all right? For the darker skinned family out there, I've got a specific publication for you tailored at non-white Christian tribal members that want to also go and say hello, you know. So rebuttals are plenty. Wow, that was a good expansion. Moving on. Having a drink and a breath. Remember, I'm here to just before 12, so we've got about half an hour left. I'm going to skim down, see if there's anything urgent anybody wants to inform me of or make, you know, a note of, and then I'll carry on with the live chat, working downwards. I'm up to Ultimate TV 900, who is another new scribe or has not interacted before. We are just taking a chat. You're updating me, giving me news, telling me what's worrying you. Have you got any legal threats, any threats anywhere? Remember, like Right to Reply or the Cook Report or Jeremy, it's like all of everything rolled into one, but something different, all right? Where I'm here, we have super chat element, all right? So if I help with a massive problem and you get some remedy from it, I'd like you to come back at a later date and then give me some super chat. I'm looking for liquidity. I'm trying to build up the trust. I'm trying to prove a great many things. I'm simultaneously got my head and fingers in many things in the days. I'm trying to please everybody, clean hands, honourable, and I'm trying to prove myself, earn trust and respect. So I will be here every day, in the morning, mid-morning, before dinner, after 9, before 12, and we'll do this. And if there's a reasoning requirement, I'll do it in the evening, maybe about 6 till 7, after tea time, but before bed, so the other mums and dads, fathers, mothers, everybody. If you're at university and you're worried about anything, because I see university suicides, debts and concerns on the climb, I'm here to inform you, all right, and bounce back. I'm giving back to you for those that have given to me and helped me. I'll share with you and give you everything and anything if it helps prevent suicide, misery, anxiety, sorrow, theft, forced adoption, etc. All right, so it's just a get together, informal. Ultimate TV 9. Yes, John. This is my church. Oh, he's gone faithless. Insomnia. I missed that one. This is my church. I'm tingling. I've gone all spiky. You've just given me a buzz, Ultimate. Wow, that was a simple one that I should have got straight away. Insomnia. I can't get no sleep. I love that tune. What a legendary, iconic era that was. Round about when Diana exited the realm, I do remember. My brain's telling me as well. Sorry to go negative, but remember the princess that is here no more. Protect the princess. Hi, wow, those Hennessy ads are amazing. Thank you. Do you see what I'm telling you? Why would Hennessy make that advert? Why would, if it's all rubbish and blah, 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 what are they doing? This is deep, but it's simple, but it's deep. If you haven't watched the Hennessy 2016 advert, it is my pleasure to bring this to you. Thank you for the backup, Fly, Church, you're right there, Ultimate. Stockholm Syndrome, yeah, maybe it is, Eric. Well, this is it. This is the wake up. This is the slap in the face with a wet kipper that everybody needs. We have got mostly everything for anything in our minds, whether or not it's practical is what we're doing now. I'm going to test out what we think, say and know, and anybody that thinks different has a chance to chelp up and say what. I should download this part for my house tracks. Ultimate, we need to chat. David at splspro.com. Have you not seen... come here, let me show you. Let's just pause everything for a minute. This is just for kicks, alright? This is why I love my queen. Any woman that puts up with this is a legend. She's going to beat me for this, showing you this, alright? It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Big shout going out to a brother like Kevin of the Phillips clan. He's given me that. Digital Pro DDM. Look at this. For those that don't DJ and know much, just look at the buttons. Look at it. Brother Kevin. Anybody that knows good names and industry standards, alright, just let me tell you that I know it's a triangle, yet symbology actually quite apt, isn't it there? Loose thread. Yes, it comes with that kind of software. Bless him. Bless his little soul. What am I showing you the box for? Look what we've got here. Look what we've got. Upside down, sorry about that. 1210s Mark 5 just sat there waiting to go. Brother Kev, you are a legend. Let me say to you and the unit, even the mix is upside down. So to you and the universe, thank you. I'm very happy. Look at that. It's even got a little computer screen there. Very professional. And tunes are underneath in the boxes. A speaker. So yes, music. It's got a vibration. It's got a frequency. And these words in my head, these are from 25 years ago. Used many times, programmed in. What was the pump up the volume? I think there's one in there. There's some very, very good ones. So that was the ultimate 9. Brothers and sisters, house is a feeling. Brothers and what was it? Mars, greed. There was a lot of love back then. When I was into music and electronica dance, you know, Nomad, I want to give you devotion. I will never forget them lyrics. I take it down, I take it down, I take it down, my key. M-I-K-E-E. I take it down on my key. I want to give you... I can't sing, I know that. I'm sorry about that. But Top Buzz, 1991. Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. The pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. It's not quite bang on. It's very hard to say. But when they was out there... Easy D and MC Rush. This is going out to the dads that are 40. You more than likely all will be dads now, those that was 12 in 1990 or thereabouts. And MC Doma, Sheffield, I moved to in about 91. They had this radio station at a place called Norfolk Park called Fantasy FM. It had a 200 something watt stereo transmitter on the 12th floor of the highest point of Sheffield, just about in the city centre. Shout going out to all of the mad times that we had round by the 50p pea shop. As teenagers still at school, carrying heavy record bags up massive hills to go onto pirate radio station on the 12th floor with burnt out fire doors, broken glass. If my mum knew, she'd have, honestly. But we found it innocently. There was no crime, there was no threats to safety or life or anything. We just knew some people that liked music, that knew a man who put a stereo transmitter on the top of an high-rise flat just to see what had happened, and created something called Fantasy 105 FM, where one of the resident DJs was a man called DJ Easy D, MC Doma. And as a 12-year-old, that lyrical content, 4x4 programmable bassline rhythms it was. Yeah, it's what the industry does. I've come to see, going back to the 432 and the 440 frequency and phonetical change there. Wow, that was a little dirty trick, wasn't it? When you look at the frequency resonance of cells, modulation, anxiety and fear, it operates on phonics. So DJs and phoneticians, ones like that, you know, you'll pick up on that. So I love house and music and phonics, and it's relevant. It wasn't then, it was computer noise and programming, Dreamscape, Helter Skelter. I like Sasha and John Digweed. The trance was brilliant. Northern Exposure on vinyl, I had that, alright, and it's gone mouldy and I've lost it. My brother Lewis threw out about 3 to 6 grand's worth of records. I had all of my heavy collector albums in one box, and I dropped it a little bit and it cracked. A plastic box with 100 or so, all my Gatecrasher discotheques, and they've gone. And them days, but that music was fantastic. I do like it. We're going back on track. Sorry, that was Ultimate. He's on about changing the name for the vampire in DD, perhaps. Yes. I'm skimming for questions. All right, I'm going back on track. That's just maths. Maths have a language and a number. There's an interior angle of the primary shapes of sonic geometry, geometry, sonic geometry, phonetical geometry, cymatics, and the mathematics that comes with the cymatics. Mathematics and cymatics. There's a little bit there. That's a good little loop, isn't it? But yeah. We'll find this out, don't you worry. 12 and 21 equals 33. Why are there 33 lumbers of wood? Lumberjack, jack, lumber cuts down, and you got that, yeah. Then your back's got your lumberjack in your back. 33, going up. And Santos revealed that. That's when man's all my hair stood on the back. When I heard him talking about Jesus, and it was him that started this, and Jordan Maxwell to some extent. So when I looked into it, and then Smithy started proclaiming, and I'm like, hang on a minute, then just a cross of fiction. Just wait a minute. So Jesus, 33, Mary and Joseph at the top of the spine, the cross on the bone, going across, going into the pineal gland, reborn. Interesting. So maths, and yeah, everyone's brain is a little bit fractured, waking up to this this hangover that we're in. Think of the hangover films that you've seen. We could make one here. CQV, Dead and Lost at Sea, The Awakening, Cocoon, coming out. Yes, Barnster. We'll speak later. I'm having a mad Monday, to be fair. I've been out, done a few tasks, come back, saying hello to the fam. I'll be answering emails and making myself known. Much love to you, Barnster. Hope you're good. Thank you for the fist, the prayer, the heart, the smile, and the thumb. Agreed, Eric. Create your own reality. That is right. You have your inwardly project, you'll outwardly attract. So if you listen to Allah, you listen to Norm, you listen to Napoleon, you listen to me and others, you consider it, weigh it up, and then have a look. It is true. Whatever you inwardly project, you will outwardly attract, and that would come down to positive thinking, and that was called The Secret, which is the video they brought out some years ago, which is not a secret. It's called Hermeticism, the laws of correspondence, attraction, polarity, etc. Yes, Sister Nonna. John's off with his numbers. All is on. Cymatics, it is, yeah, and there's more that comes out from it. That's the bit we're going there. Gotta go. Blessings to you, Nonna, much love. Stop saying that word. Vampire. Change your name, please. Another live show missing on now. A fan member, more bricks. What? Easy, Steve. How are we going? Nice to see you. Nice. Right, I'm here. I want questions. I need to know what is happening, what concerns you. I'd like you to ask me questions. All right. That's what we're here for. Have you got a threat, your legal person, property, a question about anything? Over to you. Oh, you do know I have the option to block and remove and everything, and we're being very, very good here. I wish I could alter my reality to get those damn monsters stole from me as my wee little... You see, that's indicative of a trill. You see, I was immediately going to block you. I wasn't even going to speak to you, Slayer. So when you go around this realm, yeah, with a name like that, to channel members, immediate to channel managers, owners, I'm not indie. I will adorn that persona for a while we cast, but I will take it off when I leave this channel. I know I am not indie. You know you are not the skin vampire slayer, but to others, they will block you straight away, fam. It's a negative overall, it's funny, but it's it's not needed. Too much blood. There's too much blood everywhere. That name makes me see red. Alright, stop it. Behave. Handsome Truth 9. Is the earth flat? Hello there. Greetings. Are you a new scribe? When did you come and start watching? You are obviously new, or you would know our opinions on the toroidal area. Thank you for the question. I did ask for questions and you've given me one. I don't have the definitive proof to tell you if the earth is flat or not. That Hennessy advert from 2016 that is on YouTube. Gives you a very good idea of what the ones do believe in the scriptures. It tells you that there are waters above, that there are seas, and I believe them scriptures to some extent. I've seen many things. I cannot definitively give you an answer because there isn't any evidence out there. It's on faith. So, is it? Is it indeed? What is it? The fact we don't know is a crime to man. I'll tell you that. I'm here to help. What we got here? It does say that one of the Abraham or Moses was taken up to walk with God, with the Creator, and he saw the realm, and it was round. But you can have a round disc, you see. So that's kind of all right and great. In the scriptures, it does say the prophets, Abraham, Moses, which one I forget. That's where you need Smithy, he'd tell you. And it was round. So there you go. The planes of existence he created, in the beginning. Moving on. Anybody else want to answer? Handsome truth. Fly. Yes, it's all right. How can we inspire the masses to get involved? The masses of the family. You tell them that there is no debt. You tell them that they've been lied to, that they've been assumed and presumed, that they're in implied, constructive, impugned, these kind of trusts. Trust is the key. If they come over here and they trust us, I can give them peace of mind, freedom and satisfaction. I can't give them advice. What I can do is point them in the direction and give them, if they've got the ability to support our trust, and I can sit here every day and go out and travel, then I'd like them to support our trust and our movement. For those that can and have the extra promises, we'll call them, credits, cash, not money, then they can donate via our homepages, or they can come and join the splspro.com, as it says there, and they would pay via their methodology a donation to us of 12 credits and promises. There is no money, all right, so it's the 12 promises. They join via the donation, paid via the current, commercial methods of PayPal, and we get the donation to the trust. They join the site. They communicate with us that way. They don't have to join the site. They can just go to the front page after they've seen a video or two and go, that's enough. For that reason, I'm in, and press donate on the homepage. And either way, I get a nudge. Communications, all is there to be seen, and I will email back. Then we go out in the communities, or we just spread the documents, and we use it via the documents, and we promote the videos and the documents until enough get up and somebody comes along and says, you know what, I'm going to put in my will to leave David and the fam some money. In the last will and testament, you can leave stuff to charity, and things like that. So to our charitable trust here that we have, there's a trust going off now. I am the grantor and settlor. I have set it up. It is Indiglow channel that I manage. I'm also giving you information, so I am to be trusted. Okay, so I'm the trustee in that respect, because you're going to trust me. You're going to possibly, I hope, passively learn here, all right, so by watching me. So therefore you are going to benefit from watching this video. So right here we've got the trust set up. I am granting and settloring. I own and I am giving. You are taking, you are benefiting, you are trusting me to be the trustee. So simultaneously I am settlor, trustee, and you're beneficiary. That's how we change it. We show them this technology. We show them how to protect their stuff. We don't think the criminals. I will even make an agreement with somebody and say, non-disclosure, etc., a real proper contract, signatures, agreements, thumbprints, everything. You know how we do it, yeah? And that's how we roll here. When we say a word, we mean that word. We don't confuse you, and we'll set it up, and you can have it. As long as you come back later and say, you know what, I've now can actually be in the position to be able to make that donation, then that's it, because we'll trust you. We don't require deposits and etc. What I require is you to tell the ones with a bit of spare energy, promises and liquidity. There's a family out here that want to help the other family, and we've proven ourselves for over 3 years with videos and documents and everything else, and we're still here. And we've not cancelled, we've not let down too many. Fair enough, the emails aren't answered straight away, but I'm not here to serve you. I've got my own agenda, my own plan, and my own instructions from the Creator. And this 113, 1111, synchronicity, coincidence of. So forgive me whilst, I have the Queen, my Queen, the Princess, my business, my private, business, my soul, and it's very busy. So this is how we get it out there, and I will help you set up and give you templates for revocable, irrevocable, living trust, express trust, bare trust, testamentary, whatever you may need, and how you may need it. I've already gone so far as to giving you the citations for the law which overrules most of the weird situations that equity will have come upon it, in the realms of trust, and how equity and what the maxims of equity say to govern the law of trust. So how do we get it out there? We show love, we show respect, we sacrifice, we give, and we earn. And once we've got that, then that's it. You can't buy that. You can't make a corporation and suddenly buy tomorrow with endorsement from Facebook and Google and Yahoo and whatnot and Uber and whatever else. It's so saving lives and love and telling the truth is how we do that, my man. So thank you very much. And if you give a rat's ass and you help, then you will get the karmic retribution, and not from me, but from the realm. So nice one, and help me, because they are stopping this. They are culling our family quicker than we are realizing. What's going on. Reading through, catching up. Syntax is key. Yes, indeed it is. Language, syntax, and there's another area. Agreed, vampire. Thank you, Fly. You've said it again. Stop saying that word. Thank you, Jupiter. How are you spelling Jupiter? Jewpeter, as in Jupiter, or Jupiter. Easy now. The days of the 1210s. They're still here. These are still the days of the 1210s. Thank you, TV. Small hat and hook of the nightmare. You lot are the best. Sweet thing. Yes, I've got that. I'll give you some of this sweet thing, sweet thing. Jonestown. It was Jonestown, sweet thing. Come on, next one. Yeah, it's Dynamic Dave in the disco quiz. We've got about 10 minutes left, everyone. I'm here for you, not to chat to you. I'll be back later, maybe. I'll be sorting stuff out for the ladies. We'll be here every morning, mid-morning, for a chat and information, duly informed. You tell me what's going on. Looking for any more questions. DVLA finding a legal name with no notice of court ledger account, 320 by a clerk. No judge replied with Lord wrongly with credit a lawful name, and as their trustees they have to discharge. You'd argue that, yes, and if you've done all your paperwork and you've got everything there, then there's some damages that are going to be incurred here, and there's a duties and obligations of which you have authorised and required, and they haven't been done. So we don't argue and we don't submit. We would compel, and when we compel, dispel, compel, these are the things, and they have duties and they've disclaimed their duties, and you've done that effectively. Then when it comes later down the line, somebody will look at that and say, what? Indeed. Alright, I'm just catching up. Just seeing, we're all good then. Got you there, Stephen. Don't forget, you have a Minister of Transport, you have government, officers and trustees and so forth, and principals and executives. So whilst you're focused on a non-governmental department like the Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency, that is in the Sea of Agents, the agency, all right, that's where you swim in there, at Swansea Agency. And you've got ministerial, areas, and you've got a chief executive officer, a chief financial officer of that agency, and their respective roles. And then you've got the requirements under UK contract law. You've got the statutory obligatory requirements. You've got time periods, protocols, and then going into default. All right. So that's just a summarisation of all of that for Steve and anybody else. You're a man, annoying every single one with your annoying. What's going on, Ultimate? What you on about? I am a man working on being good one day at a time. Just hoping to be better today than I was yesterday, yet I stumble as I proceed along this journey called life. So you've obviously got no offspring there, or you'd have a means to go on. You're a single unit then. All right, nice to know. At least you're honest. Life isn't easy. Some of us are scarred heavily, and we carry them scars, and we resent everybody else. We resent seeing happiness in everybody else because we are so hard done by and heavily scarred, and life has chewed us up and spat us out. So if you stick with me and this family, Slayer, first of all, we'll look at the presentation of the name, and we'll work as a fam. We'll make you laugh, we'll make you cry, we'll have good times. Man, I'll give you jokes. I'm not a waste man. Okay, that's not what we're here to do. I'm here to show you a different alternative and give you options to think about. And so is this family. So thank you for that. TV9 has got a short patience. Then now I know what that's in with, but we're all good. It's called friction. We'll learn to get along. Domestic. Good is just God with an extra O. Like moon, moon eye, mon eye. Jonestown, yes I know, Fly. I don't mess around me. What are you saying at Ultimate? That's alright, we get that, see? Mixed. It's okay, it's all good. Alright, TV and that's alright. We've all got an opinion, we've all got a voice. As long as you respect the rights, our rights end where others begin. Carry on, speak, communicate, dialogue. Yes. Alright, I'm going to the bottom, working up. God, dog is a trust, just on the, yep, Dogon, no God, Dogon tribe. Cannabis, cannabis, told you about that. Canna is dog. Spanish, bis, boy, two, cannabis, two dog. Dogon tribe, telling you, yes, reptilians coming down. Cirrus, A and B. Dogon, no God. Cannabis, dog star. The translations and what's happened there. Vati, can, dog. Vati, father, father, dog. Godfather, Dogfather, Italy. Tonight, my friend, you sleep with the fishes. Yeah, I feel that. Got you. You don't cause evil. I don't mean to cause evil unless it's imposed on me or against innocence that I'm aware of. I am damaged, but that's we're all damaged. And no, you're very well. You shouldn't cause evil because it will come back on you. If you cause evil, your intent will come back. Inwardly project, outwardly attract. So, all right there, nice one. I did ask for those that need help or whatever, or to ask a question, to speak up. It's not just about money and law. It's about anything, how you feel, states of. So, initially I was thinking claims and trust and equity, but we can, bounce around. for the 16 that are on now. All right, so we will remedy your mental vibration, if you would like, vampire, as we go along. Not a problem. Queen's speech held to mark state opening of Parliament. Guardian News live now. We have the Queen of the United Kingdom, not Anna Maria, my Queen, but the Queen of the United Kingdom Trust and Paper Format Corporation there, talking to the fictional people of that Paper Format Corporation. State opening of Parliament. What a state the estate is in, isn't it? Yes, 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 it is. Wow, I'll review that later on, once I've got my head into emails and the .com. I have changed the Indiglo front page again to include relevant new videos. If you could share Indiglo channel and the .com and these videos, I would much appreciate it. Over to you. More questions? Anything in life, legal, lawful, financial, spiritual, you'd like to ask, health-wise? Yeah, that I can, yes, in the Anglo readings of I can, yes, that I can, VAT, value added tax, I can, VATI, and can, is a family. What did Santos call them? Let me see, let me just write, I need to see the word Vatican to get the Italian. Vatici, hang on, Vati, Vatis, Vidi, what did he say? I'm sure he said, no, not Vidices. Family names as well, lineage, it's gone from me, it's too deep and too far. Alright, David, watch Greg Hallett on Caroline Stevens Chit Chat, episode 6, The Fake Queen, YouTube, Caroline Stevens Chit Chat. Okay, I will do. Greg came to our the Future King of England.com, was present at our Bradford seminar and went away feeling rather informed. So I will look at that briefly. But I've already spoke to him in persona, and I know quite a lot about him from that chat. I'm grateful for you telling me that, though, and I will review it. Yes. Is that wavelength what defines the distance light of the light source? Perhaps. Indeed, it's all related. Yes. Bandwidth, wavelengths, frequency, modulation. Look at radio waves. Tesla, Marconi that stole it from Tesla, then it was given and awarded back to Tesla. Yeah, so frequency modulation, bandwidth, CB. Yes, it's light would be on that same. Reds, infrareds, X-ray, light rays, etc. One would, it seems. Is the wavelength of the sunlight important? Yeah, because you get the spectrum of light for the suntan. You stay out in the hot sun, you'll burn to a crisp and die. If the wavelength of the sun wasn't so, then I don't think the plants and vegetation would grow. So it can kill you and it can give life. You need to, it isn't a lot. It is a life giver. But I do believe, it was made by somebody above. Some religions do worship that sun. And have a fanatical obsession about it, and we'll leave that there. And then there was others that believe that the ultimate, most high would have created those two objects, the sun and the moon, and the realm. So be careful what you worship. Ra. Did you find out blood type from the not yet? I'm going to make an appointment somewhere, a careful one, and get an overall checkup and get my blood type. I am looking to find out the blood type that go through my vein. Any ideas on how to stop AI from progressing? A few, but that's another video. We're shutting down now, so be careful with your data. Remote controls, use an infrared light at the end of them. You can stop your facial recognition by putting on sunglasses with clear lenses, and you put batteries in them with infrared remote light emitting diodes at the end, which use, as we talked about light and the sun rays, infrared is a spectrum of light that this yellow golden ball up there gives out. Remote controls. Get your remote control and your Android phone, and or your digital media phone, and put your remote control at your Android. Put your Android on video mode. You don't have to start videoing, just, you know, get the screen up so your Android or your media device is giving you the video camera feed, and then press your button of the remote in front of your camera. What do you see happen? All right, you see the light of the IR infrared remote control light up, whether it be any remote. You can pick any household remote up and put your phone mode onto video camera mode. Maybe start recording. I don't know if they're all the same, but you shouldn't have to record. When you press your button on your remote, you will notice now you have got a visible, your camera sees the LED light up. So imagine if you had a series of them around some spectacles, battery powered, yeah, solar powered, whatever. We get some of these crystal batteries that last 5 years out, so it'd be one pair of glasses lasts 5 years, and that gives out roughly 5 volts, I think, for 5 years. So, you know, we have ideas of this already, and then yeah, you'd have that on, and then that would be the way to mask your head being used as a I love you all too much. This is just one random idea that I have of many that I've seen. I mess with technology. I'm into it. We like wires and things. That's what God got me to do. Take stuff apart and have a look at it, David. I want you to... When you get on that planet, I didn't know he said this to me, or it said it to me, but my job was to take stuff apart and analyse them and report back. And my poor mum, and I was 6, I took everything apart. So now I can start putting it back together again. And just check the screen, see if there's anything. So AI progressing, I've learned through playing and, you know, things and DJing and earths and wires. It's my job. That's one way. And your face will no longer be used as a cookie. We're shutting down, all right. So we'll see you again tomorrow, mid-morning, another hour. I'm going to go on the .com. I'm going to look at emails and answer as many as I can. I'm going to do some more trust, testamentary, equity, wrap-ups. I'm going to finish off the 100-page document. I'm going to add some more pages to it that I brought you over the weekend. That secret and half-secret trust will go in there as well. And in direction, I like that word, Lindsay. Good word, direction. On old CCJ charge order. Well, if it's over 6 years, you can look at the statute of limitations. You have a accepted for value a water CCJ a while ago after the letter game. Not heard nothing for 8 months now. Oh, with everything. Conditional acceptance with all claims is how we have learned to see things, and once it's been conditionally accepted, we require proofs further. Once conditional acceptance is in and accounts are into serious dispute, and you've got records and you've let others know, the trustees in office, and you have made corrections to the implied, statutory, constructed, etc. Positions, then they have to recognise that. If they fail to, then they will keep pressing on for fines, forfeit, fees and levies. It's up to you then to go through the mitigation up until the litigation. My goodness. And then if that's all ignored and there is some kind of dates and fines and fees tried to be levied and applied against you properties, the person, you is the person, Lindsay is the woman, so you, the person, then you've got the account into dispute, you've conditionally accepted, you've made offers to discharge, because we can only discharge under the 1931 and the insolvency and bankruptcy and whatnot. So there are only promises to pay. They are governed under UK corporate contract law. You have been honourable, you've recorded everything. Now it comes down to being the litigant in person and having to move through. So you haven't heard anything for 8 months. Well, 8 months. What we need is closure. You haven't had anything back. See, if it had been done properly and you'd have got some satisfaction to this, satisfaction is the word they use for accounting and debts and so forth. So if you'd have satisfied and the charges that have been discharged, you would have got a notice saying that all was well, a satisfaction, account closure, dispute, discharge, account settled, or settled and closed. So you haven't. Not hearing anything back tells me that there is not a firm understanding, communication, eye to eye meeting. So that's my humble opinion, Lindsay. You would need clarification on that status of. Good and evil to fly, a momentary lapse of reason. Good and even would be on what's called a Hegelian dialect, and you have thesis and synthesis and antitheses and all of this. So you have the president of America's with his weapons and his rockets and his power and his fury and his Moabs, and I will bomb the freedom out of the world with this America. And then you have the Pope, who's angelic, love, light. Yeah, so you've got good and evil having a relationship, contracts and everything. The man of God chats with the Trump, the man of death, doom, weapons, missiles, threats, Korea, Kim Jong-un, all of this that's gone off. And yet that's a dialect, that's a Hegelian one. It's a bad one. Look what they're doing to it. Yeah, so well said about that. Fly, that's all I can say. Look into that. Quinn, yeah. John, we're wrapping up, fam. All right, no more questions after Lindsay and hi. Thanks, David. We have finished for today. You're welcome, my sister. It's my pleasure. We have got the option of super chat on here. I don't want to go back to slavery and clean mouldy walls and do mundane. I will do. I'm prepared to do it. What I'm saying is, I need to find liquidity, and with the .com, with YouTube. Not with Facebook anymore, them days are over, but with YouTube and the .com, I want to obtain liquidity and help and be here. What better way could there be to earn some kind of freelance liquidity, private income than coming on, travelling around, going to towns, cities, helping elderly, disabled, vulnerable, sick, and going around like that. Before I go out again and look at voluntary servitude that is forced by the current monetary system that we have, which is the debt-based insolvency that we are, in, that's just a sham. Then, we just got to suck it up. When in Rome, do as the Romans, David. Well, I'm doing that, but it goes against my principles, and I believe it might be sinful. When sin gets brought into it, everything changes. Damages, we call that. Well, it's more than damages. Brother Barnster, over the weekend, I've done some videos for you and a good lady in mind there. So, Barnster, I'd just like to say, I'll chat later, these videos of the weekend, I hope you've enjoyed them, and they're giving some light into. You're welcome all. You like that? How's your temple? How's your body? House nation. What was that? Green velvet or something? Round and feel the energy coming to your place. Round and. Who was that? There. That's an old one. Well done. I like that. House. The messages. A house within the house. Thank you all. House music all night long. If you've had fun, I'd like a thumbs up. If that's not too much to ask, thank you. I see no thumbs down. My resident Trill has not found us yet, so it will be applied later. Thank you. Who runs the Knights Temps? Well, they've gone, and you've got the London Temple, BAR. There's a Crown Board, Elect, Committee, Select, like the Select Elect that they have of the Lords and whatnot. You have here an elect select of the London City. You've also got the appointment every year, the London Town as the mayor of London, and London City has the Lord Mayor. and you have that procession every year, so there's an indication as to where to look at. All right, my man. That's it, we're done then. Thank you all. I am off. We will be back tomorrow. A butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, Tinker Tailor, Solar, Sager, Tinker Tailor, Soldier, Sailor. What? The Pope, the Leaden Buller, the Papal Bull, a Queen, a Pope, a Banker, Humanities Bumshanker, Pope, Pepper, Pop. Alright, Papal Seas, Currencies, easy now. Thank you, Quinn. You just dropped in, you just missed, sorry. We've had an hour, we'll be back tomorrow mid-morning, alright, not 9, not 12, 10 till 11ish, half 10. And then I do my duties. I am looking for coming out in the community. Hit me up on emails, contact me, have some dialogue, formally converse. And we'll see you all later. Much love, thank you, and ciao for now.